All right, y'all. They out here saying that these kids cannot read. No matter what university they going to, they could be at a top 20 university, and professors are basically saying these kids can't read. In other words, they didn't even learn hooked on phonics or any of that kind of stuff. But we're going to right straight into the video. Like it before you like it. Hit the sub before you hit the bud. Join the team before you hit the green. And most importantly, please, I need that like a crackhead need a pipe. There's only 2 YouTubers in the whole world that do that, and I'm both of them.
Read this sentence for me.
What does that say?
That's a tough sentence.
So. Had a pre-emotion of the impending cataclysmic.
Oh my God.
Come on. The reading ability of both kids and adults in our country is declining at a rapid rate.
Say that again for me one more time.
The dignity had a promotion of, that's not even promotion, but
Jesus Christ.
A promotion of the independent catalytic event.
Yeah, all right. I don't even know why I asked that. I knew you didn't know.
To the weirdos that are going to make
That's
this
tough, man. That says, hold on, what does it say?
about race, you need to.
The deity had a premonition of impending cataclysmic of what? The play button is there, y'all. See, y'all gonna think I'm slow. Y'all gonna think I'm slow, bro. I swear to God. Hey, bro, I can't see it. Y'all can't see it either, bro. It was. I'm gonna just shut up.
Understand that this is a representation of our country and how our system has failed all of us.
The deity had a
The deity,
promotion,
and she a pretty girl, bro. Hey, luckily she pretty, bro. Somebody gonna get with her and don't care how illiterate she is.
baby. It looked like it said academy.
We're entering a dangerous state in our country where even adults can't read. This has become a huge problem. But before you write your hateful comment, read this out loud and tell me how it went for you.
Damn, I keep pausing it, bro. Hey, yo, but listen, bro. I done heard it through the grapevine, man. These kids don't know how to read. And it's the white ones, too. It's the black ones. It's a lot of these kids. They can't write in cursive. They don't know how to count money. They don't know how to do nothing. They're useless, a lot of them.
They say that this generation is cooked. Yeah, these motherfuckers not only cooked, they are well done. Put a fork in them, for real. This Gen Z, this video of you all not being able to read cursive is killing me right now.
Riddle.
Hello?
What the?
It says feeble. And the fact, I'm so happy we learned cursive. I'm so happy we learned cursive. These motherfuckers are trying to read it. Does it say pickle?
What do it say? Pickle?
Oh,
Does it say?
God.
There was one girl that said feeble.
Say where it say?
Oh. Feeble?
Thank goodness. But man, the fact that they're struggling with this word, struggling with cursive, the fact that they don't do cursive in this era is so whack. You need that. You need to learn cursive. You need that tactile, that pen to paper, that mind-hand connection. You need that. And these motherfuckers ain't got it. That's why they ain't got no macking skills. You can't even write a girl a nice letter like, I like you. Say yes or no. You can't even write that in cursive. You can't write a letter. You can't do nothing. You can't even sign a signature.
Do it matter, though, Godfrey? The girl can't read either. Man, look, I know you just saw the pretty little girl I just showed you, bro. She couldn't read. She can't read the letter no way.
You can't even do a signature because you don't know cursive. So now all of your are going to get forged. All your checks are going to be forged. If you try to sign anything, I don't even know if you can sign anything. It's so sad. This is an embarrassing video, man. This dude knew exactly what he was doing. These motherfuckers like, I'm not saying they can't read, but to not be able to read cursive is a crime, man. You got.
Yeah, bro, that's wild.
So yesterday I came to the realization my students can't read.
And it's not your fault. That's your student's parents' fault.
That is the tragic truth. That's not good. Sorry. That is a tragic truth. And I struggle with being told that I have to focus on certain standards on grade level text when my kids are not reading grade level. And I just don't really know how to navigate that. Like, I see they're struggling. They're not going to read because they don't understand what they're reading. You're going to give them a test with a text on it that they don't understand. So they're not going to attempt it because then that makes them feel a specific type of way.
Makes them feel stupid. That's what it makes them
They
feel.
don't want to struggle, and I get that. I do. But at the same time, they're not going to get better either. So it's like a catch-22. Do I push them and try to get them to understand grade level text?
No, that's not the answer.
Or do I come kind of down to their level
Yes.
and try to show them the standards on a text they do understand? Like, is that
Yes.
a possibility?
Yes.
Like,
That's what I would say.
I don't know. It's a really difficult decision to make as a teacher, because you're told that they need to be reading grade level text, but at the end of the day, they don't understand the grade level text. So in reality, like, what are we doing? You know?
I'll tell you this. If I had a child that couldn't read, and I don't, this is what I would do. We would go so far back until I figure out where they fucked up. In other words, I don't know how to explain it with reading because all my kids are literate, but let's say it was math. Let's say that they're in the 4th grade and they're struggling with fractions. Well, we're going to start back before fractions. We're going to figure out division and multiplication, because fractions and multiplications, they're like inversely related and all that kind of stuff. If you don't understand division and you don't understand multiplication, fractions gonna bust you in your head. And if you don't understand your times tables and how to divide, if you don't understand your times table, division gonna bust you in your head. It's always, whenever people, because I used to tutor math, whenever people struggled with a certain math topic, I know that the problem is probably a couple of grades ago. So in other words, a 10th grader, you struggling with geometry, I know you probably struggle with algebra. I know you probably struggle with just basic math. So you got to go back and get the foundation together, dog. So in other words, she need to go have these kids get hooked on phonics, bro. They can't even sound out the words, bro. In certain words, you can't even sound out. You just got to know them. Can the parents read? That's what I want to know. Can your students' parents read? Oh my God.
The colonial received a
Subpoena.
After a particular rendezvous. Rendezvous with his Lasian.
Damn, you can't read. Damn, you can't read.
The fuck is this? Hold up.
Exactly, you can't read it either.
Hey, hold up. The color.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
The
brother.
colonel received a subpoena after a peculiar rendezvous with his liaison.
I'm not mad at that one.
I'm not mad at that. I'm
Please
really
read
not mad at that, bro. I would expect people who don't speak English as their first language to not know a lot of these words. But if you made it through the American school system and don't know these words, man, shit, bro. God damn. What are we talking about here, man?
First of all, that fucking video going around showing that them high school kids that can't even fucking read a sentence, like, that shit is embarrassing. Then I just saw somebody post a video saying that this was kids here in Philly. I gotta do a little research on that. And it better not be, because Philly, y'all trying to close too many schools. And while, yes, everybody is blaming the schools, you should blame the schools. But first of all, y'all parents, y'all gotta get y'all shit together. Why the fuck y'all don't know y'all kids can't read?
Facts.
Why the fuck y'all don't know? Fuck these schools. See, y'all put too much responsibility on these schools. These schools supposed to teach. Absolutely. These kids should know how to fucking read. Y'all couldn't say words like extraordinary, silhouette, and y'all in fucking high school. How fucking embarrassing. But how embarrassing as a fucking parent? You don't know your child can't read? See, when I was coming up, our parents would have left us the fuck back. They would have went to that fucking school and left us the fuck back. But the problem is this whole no kids left behind shit, and y'all parents just want y'all kids to go to the next fucking grade. Because how the fuck as a parent you don't know your high school child can't fucking read? Extraordinary? It's embarrassing. And that shit better not have been in Philly. I'm not fucking playing. Stop embarrassing us in Philly with this bull.
Hey, man. Hey, look, I tell people this all the time. The dudes who were the crash outs and in the streets in the 80s and 70s to the early 90s are more literate than college kids today. I'm telling you, I see it all the time, bro. I'm so serious, bro. I bet you Soulja Slim could have read some of that shit. And that man was a street dude, bro. But I knew he was intelligent because certain songs he was talking about, woke shit and all that kind of stuff. But bro, I'm telling you, I know a lot of these street dudes are better readers than a lot of kids today. And I'm just calling a spade because education was different. Even at a failing school back in the day, you could read. These kids are passing and don't know how to read. That don't make no sense to me.
At universities all around the country, professors are reporting a problem. Students can't read books. This is true even at elite colleges and universities. In one required class at Columbia, students are often expected to read about a book a week. But in the past couple of years, students have started telling their professors that they can't do it. One student told her professor that she had never been required to read an entire book. This is part of a larger trend. People aren't reading anymore. This is true for men and women, people who went to college and people who didn't. So what's going on? Well, it turns out that there are many pieces to this puzzle, but it all begins with how we teach kids to read. For a very long time, we taught kids to read in a very particular way. We called it phonics. With phonics, you start with individual sounds. You work your way up from those sounds into more complex sounds, and then you see how those sounds build words.
Right.
If you come across an unfamiliar word, you're told to sound it out. But starting around the 1960s, a new approach to language education emerged, and we called this whole language learning. In whole language learning and some successor ideas like balanced literacy, the idea was that you should learn to read at the level of a word. Using a method called 3-cueing, students were taught to infer the meaning of words from context. This whole approach was pitched as a very natural, almost kind of organic way to teach kids how to read. The idea was that actually that kids had a natural propensity to read, and that all you needed to do was put them in the right context and maybe give them a few small techniques or nudges, and they would basically teach themselves how to read. You wouldn't have to go through a kind of boring process like learning phonics. It's actually kind of a romantic idea, right? It'd be lovely if kids just had this natural ability to read as long as we just put them in the right environment. And it makes reading feel more like an art than a science. The only problem is that whole language learning didn't work. Literacy
I was about
rates.
to say that shit don't even sound feasible. It sounds stupid. Real talk. Because what happens when you throw a variable in there? Now they cook. They don't have the context clues to figure it out. You need to know your phonics. In English, that's such a stupid language. Shit don't even make no sense. Some things in the English language just don't make any damn sense. And I'm okay with that. But you had to memorize the stuff that don't make sense. Boy, they say English is at least top 20 most difficult languages to learn because of all of the nuances. I'll give you a prime example. Well, no, that's a horrible example. The word Kansas, even though that's not a English, y'all get where I'm going. Kansas versus Arkansas. In the English language, there are so many examples of where a word is pronounced this way given the context or another way given the context. In other words, instead of Arkansas being Arkansas, like the word Kansas, when you're talking about the state, it's Arkansas instead of Arkansas. Like, they have so many words like that in the English language. I just can't think of them right now, dog. I feel so stupid, bro. Damn. I don't know why y'all watch me.
Of America, college students are losing the ability to read and write.
Ooh.
So because of the rise of generative AI, there's an increasingly common complaint from college-level educators that many students have no idea how to read properly. One educator that was doing research said that he assigned a 20-page read to his students, and not one of them could complete it. However, a decade ago when he was in college, they were doing it without complaint. They also say the same thing is happening with college-level math, as students are using generative AI to create essays on how to solve math problems. In essence, cheat their way through, basically. On top of that, they've noted that many of the universities where reading and math proficiency are declining, they've partnered with AI companies, to the point where some colleges are starting to get rid of things like ChatGPT in their ranks because basically the students are becoming stupid from AI. They say that generative AI is affecting the cognitive ability of students, impairing critical thinking, and having a link to memory loss. On top of that, a new MIT study came out that said users that used ChatGPT had lower brain activity activity. And those were in areas mainly of creativity. Students that used just simple Google searches had much higher brain activity and did much better than people that used AI overall. So it looks like the rise of AI has made people dumb fucks at the college level.
Say, bro, I feel like an amazing parent after watching this shit, dog. Cause man, my 2 daughters, bro, I'm not lying to y'all, bro. I swear to God on everything I love, man. My oldest daughter literally scores the highest on every test in her class. On the standardized test, she's always at the top, percentile. And then my little girl, my middle child, fun fact, I have Irish twins, y'all. They got the same birthday and they 4 years apart. Beautiful situation. He's being nasty at the same time. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But National Honor Society, she's just naturally smart. She's probably even smarter than my oldest daughter because you know your kids, bro. It is what it is, dog. Just a beautiful, smart little girl, dog. They read when they're bored sometimes, dog. I don't have to force them to read, especially my oldest daughter, man. The books that she's read, no wonder reading is easy. There's this test called the Lexile, right? She scored literally, 100 points away from a perfect, which means that in the 9th grade, she was reading at like the advanced, like you have college, then you have the graduate level. She's reading at the graduate level in the 9th grade, dog. I'm proud, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. She read better than her dumbass daddy.
If you can't read, what are you doing at UCLA?
Ben if I carry tried to ambush the extortion scheme.
What does that mean?
I don't even know.
Really?
Ben I can't say that. I tried to
y'all see this, right? This not even a black child, bro. This dude Asian, man. You know the stereotype and shit. This hey, bro, we need a national emergency.
Ambush the extortion scheme.
What does that mean?
I don't know. The university student procured an off-campus accommodation via the platform Unishack. Unishack does it?
Oh, look at that. He got one. Guys, I'm telling you, COVID messed up our kids. They messed them up. Keeping them at home, not being at public schools or whatever school they can go to get their education with the teachers and being taught on a computer, that destroyed that youth. It destroyed them. I hope we can fix this, and we need to fix it fast. If you can't...
Bro, that's wild, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm so proud of the dude at the end, though, bro. You just carried the whole team, brother. You the team captain now.
Read the index card.
The deity had a premonition of the impending apocalypse.
Yeah, they need to stop trolling. They have to be trolling. Because there's no way they're butchering these words. That card literally said the deity had a premonition of the impending cataclysmic event. Oh, and this one says,
the menu accommodated. Hold on, I'm gonna read it. The menu accommodated individuals with extraordinarily restrictive dietary preferences. Man, but I come from, we learned how to read when I was a kid, bro. It is what it is. My mom ain't play that shit. You at least gonna know how to read in this house.
Individuals with extraordinary...
All right, girl, we know you can read shit.
Kids today can't fucking read. I wish I was making that up. I wish it was hyperbole. I wish I was coming here to get off my chest how frustrated I am at the lack of comprehension online. But no, it's an actual thing. Kids today are legitimately not being taught how to read. I learned everything I'm about to tell you through the podcast called Sold a Story, which I highly recommend if you are a parent at all or hope to be a parent in the future. Anyway, think back to when you were a kid and you were taught how to read. Chances are you were first taught how letters sound and then how those letters fit with other letters and how those letter pairings fit into words. Right. This is phonics. This is sounding out a word. Through learning the mechanics of a word, you were then able to identify. You were able to go school. Oh, I've heard the word school. Now I know that's the word here. Right. That's what school looks like, right? It makes sense. You generally learn words through conversation, TV, audio, right? And through phonics, you're able to then relate how a word looks to the identification that you already have. That is not how kids are being taught today. As a matter of fact, phonics is being taught as a last resort. Instead, teachers across the nation, in schools as wealthy as very elite schools in the Upper East End, are teaching kids to essentially guess what a word means in a sentence. God. They are taught to first look at the context. What other words are around that you recognize? So stupid, bro. 2, look at the first letter of the word. What does it start with? What words do you know that start with that letter? 3, just fucking guess. One of the examples that they give in the podcast is if Susie ran away, her parents would blank. I don't fucking know. Her parents would scorn her. Her parents would yell at her. Her parents would be mad. Her parents would look for her. Her parents would miss her. That's it. Apparently, the right answer was miss. And the students were just supposed to guess that miss was the word that was supposed to be in that blank. What's essentially happening is kids are being rewarded for just getting through a passage, not for comprehension. They just need to be able to get the gist of something and make their way from front to back in order to be given a passing grade. This, to me, is so antithetical to the way we learn how to read and thus comprehend.
Hey, bro, I'm about to get into my conspiracy bag, bro. We know how to put a man on the moon. We know how to invent things that we can communicate with other people who are not in the same room with us. That's amazing. They have mapped the human genome. They know that certain individuals have 1 to 3% Neanderthal DNA in their DNA, but they haven't done the research to realize that this is stupid and that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what y'all telling me. The conspiracy I'm thinking of is this. They want us dumb so that we can't read, so that we can't write, so that they can fuck over us. That's what I'm thinking, because there's no way that a group of smart early childhood development scientists and researchers said that this was a good idea and they signed off on it. No. I refuse to believe that, because them type of people love to run tests. They just love to know why. They seek answers for fun. They like to challenge themselves in questioning things. So you telling me that y'all signed off on this knowing damn well this was not a good... They want us dumb, bro. They want us dumb. That's what it is.
I think that reading, even more than talking or listening, gives you the ability to really consider why a person chose each word they chose in a sentence and really understand the full weight of the author's intention. By just teaching these kids to get the gist, they're not getting the full meaning behind anything they're reading. And when you look at the comment sections here on TikTok or the comments on Reddit or YouTube, anywhere online, you will see the results of this in broad daylight. People don't understand the words that are being used in the videos they watch or the articles they read or the posts they read, yet they respond to them anyway because they were given the authority to do so. They were told that they are in the right as long as they can get through whatever it is they're reading or listening to.
Yeah, no.
Now, as of 2020, parents and teachers have become way more aware of the negative consequences of this style of teaching than they were prior. So hopefully in the upcoming years, you'll see less and less of this happening. But to kids who just graduated, you probably were taught how to read in an incorrect way, and I would urge you to try to learn how to read from scratch, especially if you really struggle with it today. And parents, teach your kids how to fucking read before they get to elementary school, before they're emboldened by poor practices, so that we don't have another generation of people who legitimately have no sort of literary comprehension.
Bro, I'm a firm believer, real talk. If you read, let's say any one of us watching this video right now, you set out to go and read 15 books this year. 15 books. Different subjects, different topics, different authors, styles, etc. You're going to be more literate than the average American by the end of it. If you actually go through and read it, comprehend it, and all of that kind of stuff, you probably are going to be more literate than the average American, because I know people are not reading books. It's hard to read books now, man. You constantly doom scrolling on TikTok and shit is just crashing your attention span. It's literally like you know the words, but you cannot concentrate long enough to read to get through the book. You read 25 to 30 minutes a day for the rest of this year, dog. You probably gonna be smarter. I'm telling y'all to do it when my dumb ass probably need to do it, boy. I be on there sounding the shit out and looking crazy in front of y'all. It's kind of sad, bro. But anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Make y'all kids read, bro. Shit.
Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.